Okay, so after hearing Wildest Dreams, Taylor's version, I experienced a severe sadness that I wanted to talk about today. It took me a few days to realize why I was feeling this sense of loss. I mean, I had joy because Wildest Dreams was one of the songs I was most excited for in the re-recording process, and it was amazing. It's so much clearer and more vocally confident, but it also made me realize that I'd never have to listen to the original version ever again. The stolen classic version, I'm just going to refer to it as the stolen version from now on, was the soundtrack to some of the best years of my life, and now it was dead to me. Sure, I could always pull up the original version on YouTube or listen to my old CD copy, but I shouldn't because Taylor's version is now out. There's barely any differences to it, and if there are any differences, it's all improvements. So why did I feel so irrationally sad about the old version? And then it hit me out of nowhere. It made me realize what we lost in the original old recording. I'm certain that a few Swifties probably experienced the same feeling during the Fearless re-recordings, but we lost a certain magic to the original track. Taylor's version feels like a fully realized vision, whereas the original had a sense of discovering itself. You can hear it in the final belt in the last chorus of the stolen version, where you could tell that Taylor herself was surprised that she could do it. You can sort of hear an invisible smile and a feeling of accomplishment, whereas in Taylor's version, she nails it extremely perfectly because she's done it a million times by now. There is a level of perfection to it, and the vocals on all of these recordings that's so impressive but cast a new light on these timeless tracks. I don't know about you, but I feel like there's a feeling in her vocals that's very resigned and wistful, almost mourning, and having to revisit these tracks in the first place. You know, we can't deny that she sounds amazing. On Fearless especially, a lot of tracks now have body and volume to them that she didn't have when she was recording them initially. But with that perfection comes a sense of bittersweetness, and also a sense of boredom. Super quick recap for anybody who doesn't know what's going on or why these re-recordings even exist. Big Machine sold her masters to Scooter Braun. She ended up not liking that and wanting to own her own masters, so she decided to devalue the old copies by recording replicas of them for her own use. Don't get me wrong, I'm super excited to get all of the vault tracks and having a chance to really rediscover some old favorites, but if you really think about it, it kinda sucks. Not the re-recordings themselves, but really just the fact that we have to go through this process. Any crazy Swiftie knows that she has tiny little flaws in her vocals, breathing, shaky notes here and there, especially on her first 3 albums, and we've come to love them because they were a reflection of Taylor figuring out the song. Really cheesy metaphor, but think of them as little growth measurement marks on a door in a house that we no longer live in, but we grew up in. These re-recordings in some way and form are like rebuilding that house and trying to make it better, but you really can't go back to that house and make those same exact memories happen in the same place, which is ironically a sign of growing up. Just for my own personal purposes, Fearless wasn't really an album that I grew up with. However, I did start standing Taylor around the time Red in 1989 started, so these re-recordings remind me in a profound way that I can't go back to iconic memories. Memories like sitting in a car with my friends at 2 a.m. listening to 22, or the late nights that I spent studying for some exam I can't even remember, or even my first kiss, which was to a Taylor Swift song. Those times have clearly passed, and the original versions of the songs that remind me of those times are soon to be dead to me as well. Yes, again, I can always dig up the old CDs and even stream the original versions, but knowing that I can support Taylor's versions, I have to disregard those versions. It's the least that I could do to support an artist that really did carry me and continues to carry me through life. And also, the same principle applies to any other artists that I love. Ari, Charlie, Gaga, even artists I don't like that much like Maroon 5 or Bieber, because I want to support artists' rights to own their own art. So therein lies the reason why I'm making this video in the first place. I feel like the re-recordings and their wistfulness comes from them being a reminder that we're getting older. Both us and Taylor Swift herself. I hate to say it, but I finally sort of get why people my parents' age lost their shit when Star Wars had a remastered version come out, and how sad they were that they couldn't show their kids the versions that they grew up with. They're a completely different situation though, since no one was forcing Lucas to make new copies of Star Wars for his own rights to own the movies, but I can't help but feel a little bit sad that when I introduce Taylor to the next generation, whether they be my nephews or nieces or even a new friend who hasn't listened to Taylor that much, I can't share the version that I started with. I can't share the version I discovered. And that kind of hurts just a little bit. You know, it's very minor. Don't get me wrong. The songs still stand by themselves. Taylor's still an amazing artist. Heck, they even come in Dolby Atmos. But, you know, I just can't help but feel a little bit sad that while Taylor will continue to make future classics and I'll get over it eventually, I just can't really relive those memories or truly enjoy those original recordings anymore, the same way I can't enjoy those memories anymore. Which is just a weird emotional rant, you know, but I just wanted to share those feelings because as we get more and more of these Taylor Swift re-recordings, and eventually when another artist decides to do something like this, I kind of want to catalog this feeling or try to explain why me or maybe other fans feel the way I do. One really positive aspect that I just realized as I'm recording this video for you guys is that like now we have a chance to make new memories to the new versions, and hopefully those memories carry their own weight. Again, you know, I'm being over dramatic and I know I can always listen to the originals or whatever, but it just doesn't ethically feel right. And you know what? Maybe it is for the best that we move forward. So yeah, those are just some assorted thoughts that I have about Taylor's versions. Yeah, I know I have to talk about Dawn of Chromatica. Chromatica itself as an album, I owe you guys a video essay on that. I'm probably going to make a video really soon about Montero, my personal album of the year, and I'll explain why in that video. And definitely something about House of Gucci, but I just wanted to get myself ready to make more videos and get back into the groove. Because recording kind of sucks. I hate recording. I'm a perfectionist, and I always try to scrub away like incomplete lines and like do readings. That's why I sound dead on every recording, but you know, I'm back, kinda. Okay, I'll see you soon. Oh, and if you're still a member of my channel, like for some reason, thank you so much. Oh, and like and subscribe or whatever. I don't know.